Well, hello everyone, Dylan here. Happy Throwback Thursday, and the rotation leads us to a Star Wars review, and also last one again, well, for a while, but yeah. And this one's on Jet 14's Stealth Starfighter and the Jedi Scout Fighter, the two Yoda Chronicles sets from 2013 and 14. So on the front of the box entry I have for Jet 14's Stealth Starfighter had the Lego Star Wars logo and the green Yoda border from the time, and picture of the set in action, and all the minifigs included, and it says new on each of them. Well, new at the time, and also new saying that they were all from Yoda Chronicles, of course. And then recommended ages is 8 through 14. Set number 75018 has 550 pieces. And then flip to the back side. Have the Stealth Starfighter in a resting position and all the features of it, and also a little mural pictures, including the set in different views of the set, which they oftentimes did at the time. But yeah, that's about it with that. And on to the manuals. So on the front of both manuals, same picture as the front of the box and everything, which common thing that they did with sets until mid 2022 repeat of the front cover for that. But on the back side of which is somewhat halfway through the Stealth Starfighter, of course. And then second one of which is win on the online survey. Then website for the code for the website, which is no longer active, and also advertisement of the other summer 2013 sets, of course. And then all the minifigs included in this wave, and all the pieces that come with the set. Oh wait, which is actually 2 pages. And then all the features of the set. And then the last building steps. So now, on to our first bunch of minifigs. Hang on. First up, we which have Jack 14. Who of which? Well, all these figs which are exclusive to this set, to which. So first off is Jack 14. Hang on. And as you see the torso print, leg printing, which quite good and quite similar to most clone troopers and stormtroopers there are, and also helmet piece, which is kind of similar to most Phase 2 clone troopers, but however the face printing on it quite good and quite interesting how it is, but yeah. And also to have one arm piece, but in trans blue, quite interesting, but also some lightning bolt printing on it as well. And of course wielding the lightsaber, or blue lightsaber with a white hilt part, which kind of interesting how that is. And then also have the astromech droid being R4GO or R4GO, whatever, which as he does have that other astromech droid headpiece, and however the torso printing kind of similar to most other astromech droids, but however quite different bits to it, like the white top parts in white are in white instead of other colors, but yeah. And then also do have a Special Forces clone trooper, which from first glance kind of almost like a Senate Commando trooper, but luckily, but with a different helmet piece, but which is sort of like which is just the traditional stormtrooper helmet, but in blue, and also with kind of interesting prints to it, kind of interesting. And of course having this clear dish piece, most likely as a force field or something, yeah. And the last of which is a bounty hunter, well, generic bounty hunter that is, but of which wearing a traditional Mandalorian helmet piece, but with some different printings to it. kind of interesting. And all of the torso print, leg printing, all quite good for how it is. But as for Jack 14 of which, kind of the most interesting of all with the unique face printing, and also get the Bruce Wayne hairpiece that you can put on to him as well. And as for the Clone Trooper one, same exact angry clone face that they used on all the Clone Troopers until 2020, of course. And as for Bounty Hunter, which kind of the same as the one that came on the 2012 Republic Trooper and one of the two Old Republic sets. And then back torso printing on each of them, except for the astromech droid, but also back head printing on the astromech droid R4, of course. And that's about it with this bunch of figs. And now onto the bunch that came with the other set, the Jedi Scout Fighter, of course. First up, we have the white helmet variant of Jack 14, and again wielding the blue lightsaber, and also has the blue lightning on the trans blue arm, of course. And then also have the helmet print, which kind of similar to the one that we just looked at in the other set, but not on any red to it. And as for the face printing, quite the same, but yeah. And then also have the Imperial Protocol droid R47 or RA7 for that, which the headpiece same as most previous Imperial Protocol droids, but in dark gray instead of black for that. Kind of interesting. And however, the torso print, leg printing, all quite good. Well, same with all these figs, of course. And then last of which we have a Ithorian Jedi Master, otherwise Noga Ta, which the traditional hammerhead kind of like headpiece for that, like we see in most other sets as well. But interesting seeing it here, but nice to see here, of course, and of course wielding the green lightsaber, of course. And then also do have a kind of random astromech droid, kind of interesting one where it has the silver headpiece and the body and legs are in dark blue, which kind of neat for how that is. And then as for the back sides of both of them, all of which do have some good back torso printing, except for the astromech droid, but also back head printing on this astromech droid, of course. So the minifig selections as a whole, nice to see some exclusive figs all together from one set, of course. So that's about it with that. So first up, we would have the Stealth Starfighter here itself, which otherwise our first E-Wing. Well, even though it wasn't canon for that, and even though we did get our first canon E-Wing within about mid-2023 for Ahsoka, but yeah. But however, this which was kind of an option for a time, but yeah. But although from first glance, kind of seems almost close to the sequel trilogy X-Wings, well, from the main build parts and all, but luckily this was 2 years before the start of that. Then, as for the front nose part, which is kind of thick and chunky for how it is, like a whole bunch of like curved slopes going upwards and the sides and ending up with a jagged slope on there. And then as for the whole front section, which which is actually just a large curved slope and a couple curved slopes underneath for that, and a ridge piece underneath there to give it extra texture. Then as for this upper section, which is one of the handling kind of pieces on there, and also another ridge brick in there to act as venting, of course. And then for like one side of which has just a tile piece with a sticker on it. There's quite a few stickers in this set. And then as for this cockpit area, or this upper part, which is mostly like whole bunch of jagged slopes, and also this little cannon piece on top is which swivels side to side. But these cheese slopes on here are kind of a resting position of it. But as for this canopy cockpit area, same ones that previous X-Wings and Y-Wings and the Snowspeeder or still have, but all the Snowspeeders usually tend to have, well, at least until they kind of updated these with these sequel trilogy X-Wing and Y-Wings, of course. You can like flip right up and then reveal a bit of the cockpit part, which with a sticker G-slope, of course. And then just enough room to set your Jack 14 minifig into. And then as for this further down section, which is comprised of mostly various jagged slopes around it, and then also do have one little jumper bit in there, so which is for you to stand your asteroid droid into, of course. Almost like with most other X-Wings and Y-Wings, of course. And then as for these wings, which are like large plate kind of pieces and are attached on by these little Technic piston pieces for that. And then going out to like these curved bits on the end with a few bits acting as like extra blaster bits, and also these extra cone pieces acting as the engines, and also these clear blue cylinder pieces acting as thrust in it, of course. And then as for that bit in that part, it is actually used to shoot off a flick-fire missile. Since, of course, this was 2013 and it was the main year, or last year to where they were heavy, of course. And then on the back side of it, which is just a couple more jagged slopes, but also this like plate and a handle part to that where you can lift open and then pull this out, and it's a little storage area, or a little storage crate, which holds a Jedi holocron in there. And nice to slip in and out like so. And then also you have these extra little Technic bits acting as like the which to move the wings now, which turn on them and makes the wings fold outwards. And then also the one landing gear bit, also same as previous X-Wings or later X-Wings, where you can fold out like so, and then in its flight mode, of course. And that is about it with the Stealth Starfighter. And now onto the Jedi Scout Fighter, which now this was a quite interesting, unique ship that we've never got to see shortly after it. Well, maybe since Yoda Chronicles barely picked up or whatever. And now, from first glance, probably can see that the set is quite that well, the main color is white, but this switch is kind of sun damaged to yellow for that. Well, because I got it off Bricklink, so it just came like that. So my apologies if I do so. But there are some ways to like restore to their main color for that, which you can browse YouTube on various sites. But yeah, now and once again, my apologies if it being too yellowed. But yeah. But as for the front part, as for these wing parts, which are comprised of mostly like large wedge kind of pieces, and also this little barb with a trans green a cone piece acting as like an extra blaster to it, and of course have a sticker tile represented with a Republic symbol onto it, since still kind of in the same kind of range as the gunships and V-19 Torrent, and from a few years earlier in Clone Wars. And then further upwards, kind of a large jumble of various plates and wedge plates for that. And then also a couple curved slopes, or curved slopes, and stickers with vents on them. And then this upper section, which is a couple of side plates and also dark red plates holding on, and grill pieces acting as vents for that. And then above are the sprinkler launchers for that. Since, of course, this year, 2014, we were first introduced to that and have stuck around since. And of course, a lot more efficient than sprinkler launchers or flip-fire missiles, of course. And then as for this canopy cockpit area, which same kind of thing as the front part of the wings for that, but also this front canopy kind of section, which has same kind of thing for the very front with the venting, and also a couple of wedge pieces, and right there, and a couple large jagged slopes with a large sticker on them. And also interesting canopy part, which is just two separate canopy parts that come together, kind of like what the ARC 170s tend to use, but doesn't have some big thing in the middle for that. And where you can and as for this canopy kind of section, which is just these two large sticker plates, or these plate kind of pieces with the arrows printed on there, and enough room to sit two figs into it, and which like so, and then close right out over that nice and snugly. And then as for this center section, which is kind of a jumble of grilled pieces, but sort of metallic-ish, and also a large ridge in it with a couple of dark brown jumpers. Whoops. Okay, so those dark brown jumpers, yeah, again, enough space to fit astromech droid into like so. But luckily, don't have to pop the head off and turn it, like you would with some sets, of course. Then as for this back kind of section, which is with the large cylinder kind of pieces and other Technic wheel-like pieces, is on there, and then also these Technic kind of bits to it, to extra detailing, and also do have these little fin kind of pieces, like in the Jedi Interceptor sets, but obviously acting as back tail wings. Now I'm not sure about the right positioning of them, like this or maybe like that. I don't know, whatever. Then as for the very back section, which is just a few kind of curved and then jagged slopes in there. And then also a kind of interesting texture of that, where it's a few studs in a round plate and a few jagged slopes, or I mean vent slopes around it. And on top of which is this little turret made of a couple of Exoforce arms holding these same kind of things for that, and on a swivel kind of piece for that. And you can open this up and then pull this out and have a little storage tray for that, with a couple of clips, also which obviously for both of their lightsabers then, and also a few three flat studs used as thermal detonators, of course, and these two crates here, which you can pop off and open up. Do have a Jedi holocron in there. And then as for the other of which is a trans green Jedi holocron as well. And as you can see, it does have a couple of smooth plates on there, sort of like the transport crate in the 2018 AT hauler kind of does. So it can like come in and outwards, and when stored away, it's in there nice securely. Really very nice then. And so now on to the final verdict on these two. Overall, I think these of which are quite good sets for how they are, but also quite neat ones that we never got to see any remakes of or anything. But also, even though they were kind of the start of like random entries, which we also had with like Yoda, or I mean, like with like what's it called? Freemaker Adventures, obviously. Well, now, is there a good chance this could continue again? Well, maybe. Even though we did recently have the Dark Millennium Falcon, obviously, of course. But however, these two of which, well, for the Stealth Starfighter, kind of our first E-Wing, at least until we got our first, but until a decade later, 2023, got our first canon one from Ahsoka. Well, even though it was at first kind of a unique one for there to be, but and then eventually became canon. But the Jedi Scout Fighter, of which one that we never got to see a canon appearance of. Well, and could it ever be like that? Who knows? But as for all the minifigs included with each one, all of which exclusive to both sets, well, since of course sometimes they throw like one or two exclusive figs in sets to get you to buy it, but luckily all of which exclusive for that. But yeah, and also nice and interestingly to see a double-sided cockpit part other than just a snow speeder. But yeah. And so now, if any of you still have these sets from back in the day, well, I hope you had some good memories of them. And for those of you who haven't and are still looking to get these sets, I'd say definitely get them. eBay, Bricklink, Mercari, or Bricks and Minifigs, whatever. And that's about it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.